It started. Alright. This is my story about a place called Laser Quest. This is Laser Quest is a place where you go and you get to shoot people with guns. So basically what happened is I went to Laser Quest, right? And I'm in there and I got my big pack on. I'm a skinny guy, I weigh about 100 pounds. I got a big beard, a mustache, you know, I got freckles all over my ass. Probably a couple pimples over there. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, what happens is, I go into Laser Quest, and I'm running down the ramp, right? And I'm shooting this really big fat girl. And this fat girl is fat. And basically what she does is she just turns around, and she fucking choke slams me. That's basically what happened. I mean, I don't know exactly how it happened, but she did it. She fucking choke slammed me. Basically what happened is I got up, and I took my laser, and I pounded that bitch in the head. She fell. But eventually she got up, and then well, it was just, let's say, it wasn't very pretty on my end. But basically, the moral of this story is, the story isn't even over. I'm just gonna tell you the moral, like, halfway through, because it gets pretty violent. The moral of the story is, don't chase a fat bitch. In any situation. Like, if your mailman is a woman, and she comes, and she thinks you're not there, and she doesn't give you your mail, do not chase that fat fucking mail woman. Because she will fucking eat you. So basically what happened was, I pounded this bitch over the head a couple times, right? And she's bleeding. I think she's down for the count. I mean, I was like, alright, there's no way this bitch is getting up after that. I mean, I can see her fucking brains. There's no way she's getting up. But this fucking big bitch, she gets up. This bitch is big. I mean, her ass is the size of... It's big, is what I'm trying to say. She was big. So basically what she does is she uppercuts me in the jaw. And my tooth falls out. What I do is I take that tooth, I put it between my fingers and punch her in the face. Basically what this does, because I'm studying to be an orthophysician, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but that's something to do with teeth. So basically what happens is I take my tooth and I inject it into her eye. And this causes temporary blindness until she can get it out. That doesn't even make sense. Just long enough for me to drop kick this bitch right in the head. Now, if you know anything about Laser Quest, because I'm a pro Laser Quester, if you know anything about Laser Quest, then you know that there are mirrors everywhere. So I drop kick that bitch right through a mirror. She goes flying. Basically what happens is she's down, she got a tooth in her eye. She's got just glass all over her ass and all over her back. She's like bleeding out of every orifice she has. And I think she's down, and then I just drop my laser and I walk away like the fucking Lone Ranger. Just start walking. All of a sudden that bitch gets up behind me and she choke slams me. She fucking takes me by the neck and she choke slams me again. I mean, and then she body slams me. I just don't know how that happens when you have a tooth in your eye. But anyway, after that happened, and I'm a tiny guy. I weigh about 100 pounds. I'm 4'2". You're not. I have pimples all over my ass. Anyway, basically what happened is, I was down. I was bleeding out of my head. My ass cheeks hurt. I think she penetrated my ass after she did it. I'm not even sure. It may have been the guy working there, but whatever. Anyway, I get up. She's walking away. She thinks she's all tough. She has a tooth in her eye, has glass all over her back, has a peg leg. She thinks she's all tough.
When did she get the peg leg?
She's had that, apparently. Anyway, what I do is, I'm a pro soccer player. At least I'm on the JV team. And the JV is the lowest team we have. But basically what I do is I run and I slide tackle that bitch's peg leg. And she goes fucking flying. I mean, this is a big bitch. I mean, she rolls at least 5 times before actually stopping. And then when she finally stops, she goes through the wall. So basically what happens is I just slide tackled this bitch's peg leg off. I take that peg leg and hit her over the head repeatedly with it until I see she bleeding. She be
Wasn't
bleeding.
she already bleeding?
Yeah, she was bleeding. But the thing is, this bitch wasn't bleeding enough. If she could choke slam me twice after getting a tooth in her eye and flying through a glass mirror, I don't know what to do. I mean, I thought this bitch was like the exorcism or something. I didn't know what to do. So basically what happens is I'm good friends with the marshal. The marshal he's the marshal. Basically, he's walking around the maze with his big flashlight, and I'm like, yo, Dan, come over here. And he's like, yeah, dude, what's up? And I'm like, dude, look at this bitch. She's bleeding out of her head. And then he's like, why is she bleeding? I was like, because I hit her over the head with the peg leg. And he's like, why did you do that? I was like, because the bitch couldn't afford a prosthetic one. I had to do something. I figured if I took her peg one, she had to get a prosthetic one. It only makes common sense. Like, if you burn down a house, the person has to get a new one. Same thing. Basically what happens was, I have that bitch's peg leg. I start walking out of there. So I'm in the airlock, I hang up my pack, I think this bitch is back in the maze corner bleeding to death. I'm like, alright, that was a good day. I mean, yeah, of course, I got some bruises on me. My asshole's a little sore.
Right, so there's more of that story.
Basically what happens is I'm walking out of there. Walking out.
Anthony.
What?
What was the moral of this story again?
Moral of the story is, don't chase a fat bitch. And I'm gonna get to that again. So basically, I'm walking out of there. They have glass doors. I'm walking out. I open these glass doors, which are glass. And I'm walking out. And after I get out of there, it's just so nice to see the sun and everything, because I wasn't outside for a while. So I get outside and I'm about to jump in my car. I have a little Chevy Box Honda. It's kind of gay, but it was her car. I took her keys, whatever. Anyway, I turn the car on. All of a sudden I see this bitch chasing me. Like, she's running. Like, she's running like I'm a Twinkie or something. Like, she wants my Twinkie. Like, she wants to eat me or something. Basically, she's coming after me. She's running. All of a sudden, she picks up the car. And she literally lifts up the back of the car. And I just go right out the windshield. Basically, after this, I pull up my switchblade. I tell that bitch, let's go. She takes out her switchblade. And we army fight. Counter-Strike style. Till eventually I kill her. That's it. The new moral of that story is, just don't go to Laser Quest.